Okay, so welcome. We're doing a deep dive today into, well, some pretty sad news that broke this morning.
Yeah, really sad.
The singer-songwriter Jill Sobule passed away. It happened yesterday, Thursday, May 2nd, 2025. She was 66.
And it was following a house fire, is that right? In Minnesota.
Yeah, Woodbury, Minnesota. They're saying the cause is still under investigation.
Right, okay.
And you probably know her maybe instantly from her big 1995 hit, I Kissed a Girl.
Oh, yeah. Definitely remember that one.
But I mean, her impact was so much bigger than just that one song. She was a real advocate, too.
Absolutely. So what we want to do today is kind of explore that, right? Look at what made her such a notable figure.
Exactly. Using these initial reports, we'll sort of unpack her music, her advocacy, her whole story.
And, the first thing that really leaps out from what people are saying is just the sheer impact she had personally.
Yeah, like her manager, John Porter. His words were striking.
What did he say exactly?
He called her a force of nature and human rights advocate whose music is woven into our culture.
Wow. Woven into our culture. That's powerful stuff. It suggests something really deep, doesn't it?
It really does. And he also mentioned hoping her, her music and memory, her legacy, keeps inspiring people.
You feel the loss there. And it speaks to that connection artists can have, that lasting thing.
Totally. And her booking agent, Craig Grossman, said similar things, talked about her spirit, her energy, and how much she'll be missed, in music and just generally. He even added something quite personal.
Oh, yeah.
He said, "No one made me laugh more."
Oh. That tells you something, doesn't it? Beyond the music, just the person gives you a real glimpse.
It really does. That human connection comes through.
So thinking about her career then, over 3 decades, 12 albums.
Yeah, quite a run.
That's serious commitment, Staying power in a tough business.
Yeah.
What does that longevity, say to you about her and her audience?
Well, it suggests a real connection, right? A deep resonance. People stuck with her.
And it wasn't just fluff, was it? Her music tackled some heavy themes.
No, not at all. She was pretty fearless. Things like the death penalty, anorexia.
Right, and LGBTQ plus rights, which we mentioned.
Right.
Not your typical pop topics back then, or even now sometimes.
Exactly. And you have to wonder, like you said, what effect that had on people listening, maybe people dealing with those same things.
That's such a key point. Using her platform for something more than just, catchy hooks. It was about engaging with real issues.
But she did have those catchy hooks, too. She had mainstream moments.
Oh, for sure. Like Supermodel from the Clueless soundtrack.
Yes. Huge. Such a mid-90s defining moment.
Totally. And I Kissed a Girl.
Yeah.
Hitting the Billboard Top 20. That was significant.
Definitely. But like you said, her wider work showed she was dedicated to saying something important.
So how did she manage that balance, do you think? Weaving those, sometimes difficult themes into pop music that people actually listen to.
It's got to be the songwriting talent, right? Finding that sweet spot where the message lands but the tune still grabs you.
Yeah, perhaps a real skill.
And speaking of doing things differently, her spirit. That crowdfunding thing she did way back in 2008.
Oh, right. I remember reading about that. That was really pioneering stuff for the time.
It really felt like it, raising money directly from fans to make an album independently.
Incredibly forward-thinking. It wasn't just about the money, was it? It was about cutting out the middleman, forging that direct link with her listeners.
Yeah, bypassing the old industry structures.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How much did moves like that, pave the way for other artists? Artists wanting more control.
Seems like she was definitely ahead of the curve there, seeing how the whole music landscape, the artist-fan thing, was changing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now, in the immediate aftermath of this news, her publicist mentioned her Denver show was canceled.
Which makes sense, of course.
But what they're doing instead is really touching. They're organizing a gathering for fans, just to come together and, quote, share a story or song.
Wow. That says so much about the kind of community she built, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's like a space for people to remember together, showing how much she personally meant to them. Music as that shared thing, that comfort.
It underlines that personal connection she clearly fostered.
Definitely.
And on a more personal note for her family, the reports mention she's survived by her brother, James, and his wife, Mary Ellen, and other family.
Right. Important to remember them at this time.
And they're planning a formal memorial service, but later in the summer.
Okay. Well, that will be another chance, I suppose, for everyone she touched to celebrate her life and her work.
So when you put all these pieces together, It's just so clear. Jill Sobule wasn't just, the I Kissed a Girl singer.
Not by a long shot.
She was this really multifaceted artist, a passionate advocate using her voice, and an innovator, too, in how she made her art and connected with people.
A significant legacy, for sure. Much bigger than just the charts.
Absolutely. Leaves a real mark.
Precisely. And, it leaves you with something to think about, doesn't it?
Like,
well, how are artists today carrying that torch? Blending their music with advocacy for things they believe in.
Yeah, good question.
And how are they using, new tech or new approaches to connect directly with you, the audience? Maybe building on foundations artists like Jill Sobule laid down?
It makes you reflect on how the role of an artist keeps evolving, I suppose.
Yeah, and just the enduring power of music, really, to connect us, to inspire even in sad times like this.